What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wombo Combo Show. My name is Ben Kepler.
What's up, guys? I'm Lou. How you doing today?
I'm Ben Yukonis.
All right, guys. Well, hey, let's get started. We got some awesome stuff to go over this week. We're getting to the nail-biter portion of the season here where you might be in the playoffs. You might be locking it down. I almost locked down a playoff spot last night. I didn't. I lost by .2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In one of the leagues I'm in, I'm in the CSPN league. I'm 6-5, and with this last one I jumped in the second place.
There we go.
Nice,
wow,
dude.
it's really close in that league. Apparently,
like the best team is 7. I just beat the best team to make them 7-4.
Lewis
I'm struggling. I'm struggling across the board.
Lewis is struggling across the board. He also, I wanted to make a note of, Lou tried to, what's up, guys in chat? Lou tried to make a shiesty trade and beat me to something. He did. But I want,
Lamar.
I want everyone, I want everyone to know what he all gave up just to get solely Lamar. You gave up your quarterback, Tua.
Yeah, for Lamar.
You gave up Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, but I have Derrick Henry and Saquon.
And you gave up Hawkinson.
He sits on my bench.
All three. Would you give all three just to upgrade to Lamar?
No.
Do you think that
I would have just done Tua and Jacobs.
Tua
Well,
and
that got
Jacobs?
vetoed.
Yeah.
That got vetoed, so I had to throw the Hawkinson in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, so yeah, that's where we are, guys. Let us know what you think of Lou's trade. Was it a fair trade, or did he get?
We have another trade too, actually, between me and him.
You and Brock Bowers and
CD
Lamb.
Lamb.
Oh,
Brock
yeah.
Bowers, straight up.
That one went straight through though, and I think that one's kind of fair.
That was fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
because
that
Brock
was fair.
Bowers, he's tight end 1. But guys, let us know what you think of Lou's trade for Lamar Jackson. That was Hawkinson, Jacobs, and Tua just for Lamar. Single quarterback league, half PPR.
The guy who has Lamar is also in last place.
He is in last
So you
place.
need to kind of give the guy a haul to get Lamar.
Yeah, you kind of figured that you have to give him something.
Because no one's going to be about, just trading fair value for a guy who ain't going to get, doesn't matter if you give him fair value if he's going to stay 1-11.
Guy's 1-8. I played him this week, dude. He put up like 60 points.
Yeah, he's not a good team. That is not a good team.
Man.
Let's get into some NFL action here, guys. Let's get into the first game. We obviously talked about the Thursday night rivalry game on Saturday, Ben and I.
Yes.
That game was great. Saquon was great. It was just a really good game. We obviously think that the Washington Commanders might need to beat a good team to really stand
to
out.
show that they're for real.
To stand
Yeah,
out,
they
they
got
need to
some
be.
rookie growing pains.
They do,
Yeah,
but they
no,
just,
it's fine.
when you look at the teams that they beat, they don't have good records, and the teams that they lose to all have
All
good.
good, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they're
First
beating
one.
the teams that they
Oh,
should.
go ahead. What'd you say?
I'm just they're beating the teams that they should. beat.
They're beating the teams that they should. They aren't excelling over the teams that would really put them above. First game we're going to talk about here, guys. This is a game that not very good. Not very good, to be completely honest.
What I tell
No,
you?
it wasn't.
I told you.
I will say that on Saturday's show, Ben did tell me, he said they're going to beat them by like 2 scores. I originally was going to take the Raiders in the upset. He convinced me otherwise halfway through me even speaking it. I'm glad you did.
Oh, thank God.
I won money because of it. I switched over to the Miami Dolphins side. I'll let you guys know my bet a little bit later, but I did hit multiple times. Finally.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Finally. I'm back in the positive again, guys. But let's take a look at this game. Miami Dolphins, Raiders. First, we'll take a look at the Raiders stats here. Raiders, they stayed with Gardner Minshew. He didn't really do that terrible, and he didn't do bad enough that I would say you got to bench the guy. I didn't really watch too much of the actual footage of this game. It didn't come up on Red Zone that often, just for the touchdowns for Tua, basically. But Gardner Minshew in this game, 30 of 43, which isn't terrible. 282 yards, 2 touchdowns. He only threw 1 pick in this game.
But damn near half those yards were just to Bowers.
Yeah.
alone.
Oh, yeah.
No.
That's crazy.
No, Gardner Minshew's day was a Trevor Lawrence day.
Yeah, it was a slightly above average,
Yeah.
which is all he can ever produce, Trevor Lawrence, you bum. Anyways, if you look at the Raiders' rushing attack right now, they have serious problems, guys. The Raiders' rushing attack, their leading running back, their
was so
leading
bad.
guy was Jacoby Myers having a 20-yard run on an end around. Leading back for the team is Alexander Madison. 5 carries, 19 yards. Zamir White, who at the beginning of the season we all said, "Oh man, he's a late round pickup.
Yeah.
He's going to be
been
someone."
awful.
He's god awful. He had 5 carries, 9 yards. That's so bad. That's so bad. They used multiple other wide receivers.
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't
Yeah.
look good for their rushing attack.
Brock Bowers even got in
Brock-
on a
Yeah,
carry.
he even got one. He didn't.
Yeah.
He got
He got
negative
negative
3
3
yards,
yards,
but
but-
it didn't matter for him that he got those negative 3 yards, guys, because everything else about Brock Bowers is pretty elite. He ate up that offense. He was
Oh, yeah.
everything on the offense in this game. It was Brock Bowers versus the Miami defense. 13 receptions. He had 126 yards and a touchdown. I don't know how many. Do you know how many targets he had? I'm
think he had
assuming
he had
16.
16.
16.
He had 16
Okay.
targets.
I was gonna say both of you have him now, so yeah, 16 targets. So he
What?
only dropped.
No, I got him.
I was saying,
I
I
got
don't have
Bowers
him.
off of him.
Don't you have him in another league though?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so yeah, you both have him.
I have him in 3 leagues.
Well, I don't have him at all now.
Yeah,
you
now he
I
doesn't.
gave
Yeah,
him-
now he
That's
doesn't.
Yeah, I
right.
gave it to
You
him.
got CD in that. I got it mixed up there. Yeah, I sure did. Alexander Madison, second best wide receiver, 3 catches, 50 yards. That maybe saved any of his bad running back performance, but not really. Amir Abdullah, who is their third running back, plays sometimes on third downs. He had their touchdown.
Yeah, but you don't want
than-
to pick him up.
No, absolutely not. I would steer clear of pretty much all of the Raiders. Jacoby Myers really isn't putting up numbers at this point as the number 1 wide receivers like you would think. This week in PPR, he had 8 points, 8.8 in PPR. I don't love it. Let's take a look at the Dolphins, guys. Stats are a lot better on this side. Tua looks like no guardian cap, no protection, still not
problem.
protecting his head, no problem. That's exactly right. Taking a look at this here, he had 36 attempts, 28 receptions. He had 228 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had no mishaps, no interceptions in this game. We've been saying this week over week. Devon Achane with Tua is elite.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
He's
100%.
He's an RB1 in fantasy football, and he's very good in the real scheme of football when he has a good quarterback who can get him the ball. This game, 17 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown. He's completely taken over that backfield. Raheem Mostert, 3 carries, negative 2 yards.
Horrible day for him.
It's going to be all right.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be all right. Probably not. Anyways,
Probably
Jonnu
not.
Smith.
You're right.
You were right about Jonnu
I was
Smith.
right about Jonnu
Oh
Smith.
man, you should we'll have to take a look at these different receptions here because Jonnu Smith had this wide open play, guys. There's so much attention being played to Tyreek Hill and to Achane and to Waddle that they forgot he was even on the field. They threw to him right down the middle of the field, dude. I think it was probably for was it 40 some yards? I think it was like 46 yards.
It was a big.
It was a
big
long
play.
one. It was a long one. Ended
I
up
didn't
being
see
a
the
touchdown.
play. I just know from
Yeah,
getting notification.
Yeah, getting the
about it.
notification, right. It's really funny because the end of the play, you could tell as a tight end, he's like, dang,
He'd be-
I'm tired of running, bro. But Jonnu Smith blew up. You mentioned that, and I got to give you the credit for that one there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't think he was going to do this.
Right.
100
He
yards,
did way
2
better
touchdowns.
he had 101 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 reception, guys. That's awesome. Everyone was saying, panic on Hill, panic on Hill.
He finally had a day.
Another good day. I mean, he's been putting up double digits in PPR, but this is real good. 7 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
That is what his normal floor should be.
Yeah.
Like that's what you
Yeah,
expect.
which is like
season.
19 something points.
Yeah, in
full
PPR, it's close to
PPR.
20, which is what you
Yeah,
expect out of
that's
him.
his floor.
That's a
Like,
first-round pick guy. Looking at Jalen Waddle, still not really all that much going on with him. He kind of got overshadowed by the other 2 guys that we mentioned. 2 catches, 37 yards. Achane, 4 catches out of the backfield for 32 as well. And we don't see Mostert. Yeah, I'm not even
He
digging
didn't
on
have-
you at this. They're
he
not
did not
even
have a
using
game.
him. Yeah, they're not even using him on
Yeah,
the
he
third
might
downs.
be on the back burner, dude.
Yeah, they might be getting rid of him. It looks like Jalen Wright is going to take number 2 job. He didn't do anything.
I benched him this week.
Did you?
I benched him.
Wow,
Okay.
that probably
I
hurt
think you can bench him from now on.
Probably. Let's take a look at the next game, guys. Here. Take a look at the next game here, guys.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
This was 2 teams who were really struggling. Saints fired their coach, Dennis Allen, a couple weeks ago. They moved on to this Rizzy guy who has got them rizzed up. They are doing decent. The other team, obviously, the Cleveland Browns.
Dumpster
Winston.
fire. Yeah.
Not going very well. They'll be hosting the Steelers this week. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. Yeah. Do you remember me talking about Taysom Hill?
Yes.
I just felt that he was going to do
Yeah,
something.
dude, like,
I played him.
yeah. That was
Yeah,
smart.
he had himself a game.
that
I
was,
played
that
him.
was smart. That was really smart.
Yeah, dude.
The Swiss
Holy
Army
crap.
knife.
Yeah.
Guy plays tight end. Guys plays quarterback. Now he's a running back. Like,
Yeah, there's a
Holy
meme.
shit.
There's a meme out there that says it says, "What position are you?" And it's just a picture of Taysom Hill, and it just says
Football.
yes.
Football player.
It just says yes. What position? Yes.
Yeah.
Anything. Whatever you want me to do. He did everything in this game, guys. I want to look at his stats first specifically because I was really impressed. Now, passing, not so great. 1 of 2, 18 yards and an interception. But 17 carries, 138 yards, and 3 touchdowns. What?
Yeah. What?
That's a tight
yeah,
end.
that's insane.
Right. And he had 8 catches for 50 yards.
He had 8 catches
Like,
for another 50, and I don't think it's going to be listed here, but yes, it is. He also was the we do return
yeah,
yards.
he kicked-
He
re-
also
had a
returned
kick
one
return.
for 42 yards. So like, dude, Taysom Hill did everything. I
Oh,
pulled
my
up a
goodness.
thing. I sent it to somebody. I was like, look at his stats, and it's just it's a sheet.
Yeah.
It's like everything.
So- and bro's like 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting up. He's getting up
He's
there.
our
Yeah.
age, and he's awesome. He's an awesome athlete. Taysom Hill, we love you here at the show. MVS, I said, do you think he's gonna put up more numbers?
Yeah,
And you were
but
like, I don't trust him.
That's because this is what he does. Only 2 catches for 2
80.
big plays and
Yeah.
maybe a touchdown or 2.
I think
Well,
actually it was
if he gets
one.
2, like then
I think
yeah.
it was one really long play for a touchdown, and then it was like a short 9-yard catch after that. Actually,
Yeah.
So he had like a really big play, kind of like Westbrook Akine, who had a 98-yard touchdown this week.
Oh yeah. That
That was crazy. We'll take a look at that a little bit later here. Alvin Kamara, Mr. Consistent. He does it again. He had 60.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
he had 67 yards
That's
on the
not
ground.
bad.
Yeah, but he
I mean,
also
Taysom Hill did so much. It's hard to,
right,
Yeah.
exactly. He didn't get any touchdowns, but he had 4 catches as well for 22 yards, guys. That covered you in PPR leagues. Alvin Kamara is probably one of the most consistent running backs in the NFL when it comes to fantasy football. Wouldn't you say? One of the highest consistent guys that he's going to put
I
up his
mean-
floor of 10 every single week.
I mean, as lately it's been him and Monty. Honestly,
Him, Monty's
been
maybe
pretty-
Saquon can be thrown in that book too.
Joe Mixon.
Saquon has some
Joe
bad
Mixon is a good
games.
answer as well.
Saquon's had
He's had
Can
some
have
low
some bad
games.
games, some
He's
low
had some
games.
low games. You're right.
and so can Joe Mixon, but
Yeah, Joe
But he's
Mixon,
like-
he was
he's-
injured.
he wasn't.
Yeah, he did. He posted some zeros, but he wasn't playing.
Let's take a look at the Browns here, guys. I know it's not stats that we want to cover because they didn't do that great, but there is one guy who slayed in this game, and his name is Jameis Winston.
Famous Jameis.
Yeah.
Jesus, he actually did do way
He
better.
did really,
Threw
like
for 395 yards.
yeah, I plugged him. I plugged and played Judy this week. Judy did awesome. Take a look at some of these stats here. So he was 30 of 46, like he said, 395 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Nick Chubb, still slow. I think he's going to come back, but he's still
But
slow.
he is slow now. Yeah.
He had decent yards per carry. He was 11 for 50, but I mean, you expect a lot more out of
Yeah.
Nick Chubb. But we know that Nick Chubb's trying to get on the
Yeah,
mend
and their
here.
line's so bad too.
Their line is bad. Now, Jerry Jeudy, 6 receptions, 142 yards, and a touchdown. I picked him up Sunday morning on waivers because I was playing Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
I needed a new tight end or a new flex person because I was doing Kittle, Taysom Hill.
Mhm,
I
and
moved-
Kittle was out. Yeah.
Mhm. I moved Taysom Hill up. I put Judy in. Banger. That was a banger
Yeah.
pickup.
Yeah, that honestly may be Jerry Judy's best game ever.
It might be.
It is.
We mentioned to a lot of people that David Njoku is going to be very consistent the rest of the season
yeah.
as a tight end 1. 9 receptions, 81 yards, guys. Doesn't matter if he didn't get a touchdown. 9 receptions is a touchdown in points. It's
Yeah,
more than it.
Yeah, can't hate that.
Yeah,
And
so-
for
full
tight end
PPR,
too.
it's more than touchdown. points.
Exactly. He ended up with like 17 if you had him in PPR, which is great for a tight end. Elijah Moore, he's kind of been streaming in those 14, 16-man leagues as someone who, he was in the free agency. Winston's brought him back up, and he's running a little bit here. He's got 6 catches, 66 yards on a touchdown. He did pretty decent with a touchdown last week as well. Cedric Tillman cooled off. Everybody wanted to know about Tillman. I think basically we suggested the other person against Tillman. All Q&A.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure that we went hard against Tillman just given that it's the Saints defense. They're pretty good, and we don't trust Winston.
Yeah.
That's what we were saying. We don't trust Winston. He could do great. He could do terrible. He did great, but he didn't do great for Cedric Tillman. Let's move on to the next one here, guys. Next one was a last-minute comeback win. I only took the Jets in this game to be opposite of Ben, but you know what? The Jets will Jets. This is the Colts.
What a
beat the
dumpster
Jets.
fire of a team.
They're
Oh my
awful.
God.
They
They're
are
awful.
Before
So
we even
bad.
get into the coverage, what I wanted to mention, a post that you'll see if you guys follow us on Facebook. If not, the link is rolling through. Find us. We got all of our information on there. Make sure you're following. Aaron Rodgers is expected to be back next season. The Jets fired their GM this morning, which is a big red flag that the Jets will not retain him.
No,
he will
I
play
got
somewhere else.
Yeah, it's unlikely that he's going to go back. I just got an update on him actually.
What's
in
that?
Yahoo Fantasy.
What did it say?
That he's likely not to come back.
Yeah, he's
So,
likely.
I think he's probably going to be done after this year because no one's going to want him.
He said that he wants to play next year.
Yeah, where?
Right. But it's not going to be at the Jets most likely, like we were saying. I did put a post up on Facebook. I kind of tried to get a poll. Teams that everyone was mentioning. Raiders to back up Shadur Sanders. I don't think that's probable.
No.
They also said that the Browns will Brown. I said that he doesn't really have enough money for that, or they don't have enough money for that.
No.
Other people think he follows the Brett Favre legacy and somehow ends
goes
up
to Minnesota.
in Minnesota
Oh my
next
God.
season. Yeah.
That'd be insane.
Yes. And then also there was those who said the Giants would be plausible because they have money and they suck. They're not going to use
Benson
Daniel
Jones.
Jones. They're going to cut Daniel Jones so they could go for him. So those are some maybes. I don't really like any of them.
I honestly think he's going to stay on the Jets.
No, that's
I
funny.
know they say it's unlikely.
It's funny you mentioned the Brett Favre because Brett Favre put his last year was in Minnesota when he was like 42 years
and
old.
he took him to the so
He took him to the NFC Championship game.
Yep, and he got blown up by the Saints. And
Yeah.
they purposely tried to hurt him. That was the
Yeah,
mhm,
yeah.
mhm, mhm. So
bounty
Aaron
gate.
Rodgers could be back next year in purple,
Right.
and then he'll play the Saints in the AFC or NFC Championship game and
I
get
still
killed.
think he's going to be a Jet.
We'll see.
Anyways.
Well, let's take a look at some stats in this game here, guys. First of all, we'll go over the Jets. The sorry Jets. If you're a Jets fan, you're watching. You are a strong individual.
You are
You,
very
you
strong
are.
and
You are.
Yeah, very persistent.
Yeah, yes,
I
exactly.
mean, he didn't really do that bad.
He didn't do that bad, but the team sucks. So I don't know what you want. So he had 29 attempts, 22 completions, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's not terrible, but that's like, again, Trevor Lawrence.
It wasn't great.
Yeah, Brees Hall was the best player on this team in this whole entire game. Brees Hall, 16 carries,
Brees Hall should be the best player.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he is the best player. on the team, in
78
my
yards, a touchdown. That's on the ground. Through the air, he had another 7 catches for 43 yards and another touchdown. So Brees Hall, 8 in this game. Is he the top running back of the week? Did he make number 1? Or did Saquon beat him out?
It was
No.
Joe Mixon.
It was Joe Mixon.
It was Joe Mixon
Yeah.
last night. Yeah,
Joe Mixon
18
won.
points in the first quarter.
Yeah, Joe Mixon won, Barkley 2,
Okay.
and then I believe it was Brees Hall 3.
Okay. Well, Brees was
don't
up
know.
there. That's at least there was that.
I know they're on the ticker, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're on the ticker, so even if we don't know off the top of our head, you guys will because you're watching. The receiving core for the
Kenny, your boy.
Jets. Man, I think that Devontae is just gonna stay home and eat at his Taco Bell that's inside of his house. I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
leave the house.
Yeah, one could dream.
Dude, I know.
Right, dude? Oh, my
Taco Bell in
goodness.
house, too. I'd be so
Ugh.
fat.
He's, yeah. dude.
72 yards, 6 receptions for Devontae, which is not great. Not great. And I thought that my boy Garrett Wilson would get back on track this week. What I did say is that the targets that Devontae last week had so many targets. It was
Yeah.
like 13, 14. This week, the targets would be even. They were 8 and 8.
Yeah.
But obviously,
But
Garrett
Adams
Wilson
did a little bit more.
Yeah, Adams did a little bit more with what he got. Everybody else on the Jets, they're not worth talking about.
Oh,
Guys.
Kenny, your boy.
Kenny Yeboah did get
You got
his
a tutty.
first NFL touchdown. That is true. I will mention it. Congratulations, Yeboah. On the other side of the field, they brought Anthony Richardson back for the Colts. He played this week 20 of 30 for 272 yards and a touchdown. That's 60%.
Yeah.
If
He
my
wasn't
head math
terrible
is doing
this
well,
week.
66. What?
He wasn't terrible.
He wasn't terrible.
He
also-
made it top 5 quarterbacks.
Well, he had
of the
10
league.
rushes for 32 yards
I
and
know,
2
I
touchdowns.
know.
So that's probably why he added a lot of those points. Vultured him off of our boy JT, who I was not happy with this week. 24 rushes,
yeah,
57 yards, a 2.4 average. That is
So
not
bust
good,
if I've ever
JT.
seen one.
I would not be, guys, if you're watching, I would not be panicking on JT. This is just one of those games. Anthony Richardson got them at the goal line. JT didn't.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
JT's
Yeah.
an athlete.
You know,
We did think, at least I did, that Josh Downs was going to
kind of dip a
downgrade.
little bit.
I thought he was going to downgrade. He didn't
No.
downgrade. He had 5 catches, 84 yards, and he had a touchdown. It was like a 5-yarder, real close, but he dove it in. So it was a good catch in my opinion. Alex Pierce continues to be the guy that has no points until about 3 minutes left in the game.
Then he has points.
Yeah, 3 minutes left in the game, and then you're like,
Seriously.
"Oh man, Alex Pierce has 10 points. Where the hell
How
did that
the
come
heck
from?"
did that happen?
Exactly. He ended up 3 catches, 74 yards, but again, all at the end of the game. The person who at the beginning of the season would have probably been the favorite to be the best wide receiver on this team is not. It's Michael Pittman Jr. 5 catches, 46 yards. He hasn't been putting up numbers
Yeah,
for weeks.
Josh Downs is I guess he's moved up the wide receiver 1 there.
Yeah,
in Indy.
it seems like they are scheming around him a lot more than they're scheming around Michael Pittman.
Yeah,
and,
for
and
sure.
Josh Downs really fast too. So I
Yeah.
mean,
He's
yeah,
better
get,
than Michael
get the
Pittman.
speedy guy, out in space where he can make people miss and everything like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This game did come down to the final minute for the Colts to come back and win this game. It was a really good game to watch. So if you did catch this one, you got some entertainment on this one. Next game we're going to talk about was the Vikings heading down to Tennessee, take on the Titans. Titans, they've got Will Levis back in at quarterback. Will Levis, I mean, he's not playing terrible. He's not playing great. He's playing for his job, and he's doing enough.
That's
in my
actually
opinion.
better stats than I would have
Exactly.
expected.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
before
better
he pulled
than
it
I
off.
thought. I mean,
Yeah,
he almost threw for 300 yards.
Mhm. So Will Levis in this game, he had 31 attempts. He had 17 completions, 295 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He also ran a couple times, 7 times, in fact, but only for 18 yards. But count it for points. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? It
little
makes
bit
up
of
for that
points.
interception.
Yeah,
it just kind of
definitely.
deletes it out.
Pollard couldn't
Dude.
do nothing.
Nope.
None of the running backs in this game could do anything. The Vikings defense elite against
Stout.
the run.
Yeah.
Dude, 9 rushes for Tony Pollard, 15 yards, guys. 3 rushes for Tajay Spears.
He got nothing.
He got a goose egg. He got a goose egg. So, I mean, yeah, definitely not that
Ouch.
great. When you're looking at the pass game, the day was saved by what I mentioned earlier. If you take a look at this one, Westbrook Nakine, they're on the 2-yard line. They're all the way backed up. He breaks off of the cornerback and goes 98 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Westbrook Nakine is the guy that if you say his name, he will appear. I believe in Westbrook Nakine. Not really. Next guy I'm going to talk about here is Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley had 58 yards, 4 catches. You're probably playing him wide receiver or flex. You're not too mad. You wanted more. Other than that, though, everyone else 1-2 catches. Our Pittsburgh boy Tyler Boyd isn't really a big part of that
No,
offense.
he's
He
not.
should have came here. You should have came here.
He
buddy.
should have came here. I
Shoulda
would have
came
loved
here.
I heard he
I
like
would've
burned
loved-
bridges with the Steelers, and they like outright didn't want him.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little
Damn.
bit of a story behind it. He was like a little bit mad
was
about
like,
what
yeah,
he got
demanding.
offered, and then he said some nasty things. So,
Yeah, something like that.
yeah. We'll have to cover that at some point.
Yeah, we'll look that up sometime.
On the Viking side. Now, good, bad, kind of okay. Cam Akers did come into the game like we were talking about last week. He is filling in a little bit for Aaron Jones because Aaron Jones is having a rib issue. He did not eat completely, but 10 carries is a lot.
Yeah.
10 carries is a lot. That you probably would have been 7 more for Aaron Jones.
It was like a
if not.
60-40 split about between Aaron Jones and Akers.
Neither guy
Did very
really
good,
had
though.
good stats, though.
No.
15 carries for Jones, 39 yards. 10 carries for Akers, 25 yards.
Almost identical averages per
Not
carry.
that great,
It
though.
is identical averages.
Yeah, Cam Akers had an extra catch. He did get a touchdown on the right side. Sam Darnold threw him a little short dink and dunk pass.
Yeah.
But, yeah, still not that great. I guess you could put, if you're in 12-man league, Cam Akers, he's out there. You have Aaron Jones, or if you have somebody who's maybe a little bit injury-prone, like a K9 or something like that, you could pick up Akers just as an in-case kind of guy. Sam Darnold, he had an okay day. Not as accurate as you would want him to be, but way better than he has been the
Yeah.
last 2 weeks. Sam Darnold ran one in.
And he got the rushing touchdown.
He
which-
got one
which helps
on
a
the
lot.
run, which is very good. A lot more points in fantasy. He was 20 of 32 though, so on the accuracy, not the most accurate day, but still better.
I mean, that's still
I mean, it's
like
still almost
60%.
60%. It's a little
60%.
less.
Almost.
but-
Yeah.
Almost.
yeah.
Two
I guess
tutties
That's
and
not
that's
you're right.
terrible.
In comparison. Yeah, he was more 50%. I guess you're right.
Yeah.
I'm being a little bit too critical. Well, he's in the MVP race and comeback player race, so I am going to be critical.
He is like
204
last in the MVP
Yes.
race, though.
246 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions for Sam. Obviously, JJ, he had a decent day, 14 points PPR, 6 receptions, 81 yards, no touchdowns. Addison got hurt in this game. They said it was just cramps, though. They said he was having a problem with cramps, and that's why he left the game.
Yeah.
Which is weird because he didn't come back in the game. So hopefully it's not a pulled anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can start getting cramps and you still try to go, you can pull something. He had 3 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown. That touchdown was a nice touchdown in the beginning portion of the game. Of course, my mom sends me a text message. Mom, get out of here.
Come on, Paul.
Come on, Mom.
Come on.
Other than that, though, it was just Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. TJ, really, not the greatest
Nothing.
game.
A
Not the
nice
greatest
little
game.
chip to trade for Lamar
I
Jackson
knew,
with
I knew,
those stats.
I knew he was going to say something. TJ will have better days, guys.
13 yards, 2
Um,
catches.
Who do you think that when the Minnesota Vikings and the Lions meet is going to be the team that? Do you think it'll be a close game? Do you think the Vikings defense is comparable to how powerful the Lions offense would be? Just ask.
I don't know.
Mm?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a throw.
I don't
think it's a
yeah.
coin flip.
I think it's
It's a coin flip.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can
So-
agree with you guys. I would. That's why I asked because I'm like
The Lions defense is good too. So like,
Yeah, I know. Well, speaking of NFC matchups, I didn't purposely do that, but I guess I did it pretty well here. This next one we're going to talk about here is the Green Bay Packers, and they took on the Chicago Bears. This was in Chicago.
Lucked out.
They lucked out at the end. This is the second time this year that a field goal at the end of the game is blocked.
Yeah.
For the opposite team to now win. Pretty crazy. The Green Bay Packers allowed the Bears to get down the field at the end of the game there, but they got lucky. Let's take a look at some stats here. Jordan Love, 13 of 17, not throwing the ball a lot, but accurate when doing it. 261 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
He's good for an int.
He's
every
always
game,
good.
Like every week.
game
Always.
he throws at least one.
Every
He's thrown
game
at least one
Yeah.
in every game he's played in.
He made up
Like-
for a little bit of it, though, because he did have
He
4
did have a rushing
rushes,
touchdown.
18 yards, and a touchdown. It seems like every running back or every quarterback had 18 yards rushing this week. That's really weird.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe that's a sign. I got to bet on 18. Bet on 18, guys.
Yeah.
Speaking of 18, Josh Jacobs, 18 carries. He had 76 yards. He had a touchdown.
He did good in the pass game,
He
too.
did. He had 4 receptions for 58 yards as well, which
Mm-hmm.
is pretty good. Your boy,
My sneaky flex play.
yeah, your sneaky flex
wide
play.
receiver 3 play.
Oh man, Christian Watson. If you want to know if you should play Christian Watson or not, you should ask this guy because for somehow he's always right.
Yep. Not next week.
Yeah. Boomer bust. He had 4 receptions, 150 yards, guys. Christian Watson had himself a day. Jaden Reed saved his fantasy day with a touchdown. Only 2 catches, 23 yards. What's going on with him?
Yeah,
Not
he
getting
slowed
a lot.
off a bit.
He
Yeah.
has slowed off a little bit, but that's going to be okay. They only threw the ball 17 times.
Yeah.
So,
Limited amount of targets.
yeah, exactly. Other than that, though, not a lot on the Packers offense to talk about. Looking at the Bears, Caleb Williams, week over week, looks like he should have been not the number 1 pick and should have been the number 2 pick.
Or at least have someone to sit behind and
Yeah, 100%.
and learn the game first.
Where's Nick Foles when you need him?
right, dude? Yeah.
Caleb Williams, 23 of 31, 231 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He ran 9 times for 70 yards, though. So fantasy-wise, half decent day, not great day. A lot of better options were available. DeAndre Swift had a pretty awesome day. He had that great run. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, I caught that.
That was a really good run.
Yeah.
He came down the left side of the field, juked out the final defender, and got into the end zone. I don't know. It just looked like he was a little bit back. He's been having some slow weeks. That play really made me think, okay, DeAndre Swift is still DeAndre Swift.
How do you do in the pass game?
In the pass game, he was okay. He only had 2 catches for 13 yards. But when you have 14 carries for 71 yards and a touchdown,
Yeah, it's
that's
like almost,
pretty dang good.
almost 100 point or 100 yard day.
Especially at the same time, this is why I was a little worried, is because Roschon has been coming into the game a lot. 10 carries in this game, 33 yards
Yeah.
and a touchdown himself.
They like using him on the goal
They
line.
do. They like him as their big back. They like to save DeAndre for the middle of the field, the 20 yards out plays. But
The
when they get close,
breakaways, yeah.
Roschon is the goal line guy there. So again, 12-man league. Could consider putting him on your bench if you need somebody. Touchdown, 33 yards is good enough for me. 9 points if you need somebody in a mend. This week it was Roma Dunze.
Yeah, see?
So
Oh, and DJ Moore.
and DJ Moore, I guess. Yeah, they ended up with about the same amount of yards. DJ Moore, 7 catches, 62 yards, Roma Dunze had 3 more yards, 1 less catch. Cole Kmet really didn't do anything. 3 catches for 42 yards. Keenan Allen, 4 catches, 41 yards. These aren't great stats, guys.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
Not for those wide receivers.
Yeah, I put a post out. I wanted to know what coach we all thought was going to be fired first. You said Pedersen, I believe, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Peterson,
I
Doug
said the
Peterson.
same
You
thing,
did
too.
I think it's going to be Peterson.
I think that it's probably Pedersen.
Peterson.
Is it Peterson?
It's Peterson.
Doug
It's Doug Peterson.
with a D.
It's definitely
Yeah.
Peterson.
Peterson.
All right,
Peter.
whatever. He's gonna get fired. Doesn't matter. But Eberflus, I think, stays for the rest of the season. But he's got.
He's on the hot
Peterson,
seat.
you mess up, but Eberflus
Yeah.
comes right
Yeah,
off
yeah,
the tongue.
no problem with Eberflus. Let's go into the next game here. That happens to be. Man, I'm really transitioning well
Yeah.
here today.
Dan,
I
Dan
didn't even
Campbell
realize
against
it.
Doug Pedersen.
Yeah, Doug Patterson versus no, this is the Jacksonville Jaguars, guys. They got absolutely trumped
Oh, man.
by the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, I believe, had 600 plus yards of offense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will go over real quickly the Jaguar side, and then we're just going to talk about the Lions because there is nothing to talk about good at the Jaguars.
Yeah, not at all.
Trevor Lawrence probably done for the season, guys. Mac Jones, Return of the Mac is not as good as the song, at least. He was 29 attempts, 17 completions. He had 138 yards, 1 interception. Mac ran for 7 yards 2 times. He's the first quarterback who hasn't had 18 yards
Yeah.
in a minute.
They're good.
Travis Etienne was the lone back in this game with your boy Tank Bigsby
he's
not
out. He
playing.
was
He's
out,
out. So
Big 27
yeah,
yards.
big 27
he got.
yards for on 12 carries.
Yep.
Travis Etienne's really not anything anymore. He's really falling apart. He had 3 catches for 6 yards too. That's what's showing you. He's in the open field and he's still not doing anything.
Yeah.
He's just I don't know. I don't like it. Brian Thomas Jr. best player on the team today. He had 5 receptions, 82 yards. Did not have a touchdown.
He's
But
the only one worth keeping
yeah, he's the only one worth
Yeah.
keeping. Evan Ingram,
on
who
your
was-
roster.
Last week, you and I said, or Saturday before the game, we said Evan Ingram would probably be the only other startable player. I'm knocking him out of that.
No, because Mac Jones is absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
He's
no
ass.
way.
Mac Jones sucks. So, yeah, Evan Ingram, 5 catches, 28 yards. We no longer want to have Evan Ingram as a tight end on your team, guys. Get rid of him. Here's what I thought was great. Jared Goff comes back in this game.
Kills
From a
it.
bad week last week, he was great this week.
Exceptional this week.
Absolutely
Dude,
killed it.
above exceptional. He was probably one of the most accurate quarterbacks, I believe, other than Bo Nix, who we'll get to shortly. Bo Nix, very accurate
yeah.
this week.
Bo Nix
Jared,
is good.
Yeah. Jared Goff, 24 of 29, 412 yards, 4 touchdowns,
Yeah.
no interceptions. They put Hendon Hooker in the end because they were
Yeah, why
killing him.
not?
Yeah.
They were killing him.
Goff proved me so wrong.
I
Because
also said that he
this
wasn't a
week-
fantasy quarterback. He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're wrong.
He was well, technically Taysom Hill was quarterback 1 for the
Yeah,
week,
yeah.
but Goff was second,
Okay.
I believe.
I would imagine. with
Okay,
his stats. Goff had a great day, guys. He also ran 4 times for 21 yards. Both running backs in this game. What is it, Sonic and Hedgehog now? Is that
Yeah,
what it's
Sonic
on?
and Hedgehog.
Both did great.
Gibbs is
or
Sonic.
No, is it Knuckles?
Oh,
Or
you're
the-
right.
yeah,
You're
Knuckles.
right. It's
Sonic
Knuckles
and
Sonic
Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Sonic
You're
and
right.
Knuckles.
It's
What did I
Sonic
say?
the
Sonic and the Hedgehog? I'm an
Yeah,
idiot.
Sonic is
is
the
the
hedgehog.
hedgehog.
Sonic is the hedgehog.
Yeah. All right, that's how
Thanks.
much I know.
One's
No,
Sonic, one's the hedgehog.
yeah, no. Both these guys did
Rookie
really
hour
great.
in here.
Yeah, rookie hour. Monty had 15 carries, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns, average 5 yards a carry. Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 carries, 69 yards.
Nice.
1 touchdown. When it comes to them catching the ball and what they did receiving, Jahmyr Gibbs, 1 catch, 54 yards. He's awesome. He's just so fast and so elusive. Monty had 3 for 20 as well. So both of those guys, you might have been right of putting them in the list of top rest of the season running backs. I don't know about their numbers, but
They're in the.
but
10.
they are top. 10
They're
guys.
both top
of
10.
them. Both of them.
They'll finish. Yeah. it's
Amon
wild.
Ra.
8.
He ate. He's
And then had dessert.
He's
and
like
then
my
ate
favorite
again.
player in the NFL. Yeah. He had 11 receptions, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns, guys. I played against him in the only league I don't have him, and I thought I was going to lose because of it at one point in time. I was shaking in my boots, about to lose the 12th place. No, but I ended up pulling out the win.
Yeah. J-Mo.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Like the day.
Get, like,
You and I both said, I don't know about J-Mo coming
yeah.
back.
It's
I don't know."
either he does this
Or
nothing.
or nothing.
Yeah, J-Mo super fast, did really great in this game. 4 receptions, 124 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Elite play out of him in this game.
Very nice flex play if you flex him this week.
Other than that, though, guys, they didn't have Laporta in this game, and I'll mention that Brock Wright did score a touchdown in his place. He only had 1 catch, though. But other than that, Zylstra is their other tight end. He didn't do much. I don't think you really need to be chasing after any backup tight ends for the Lions. Nah.
No, not at all.
Nope.
Next game we're going to talk about here, I think you and I both took them.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
went with you on the
Yeah.
Rams on this, even though I do think the Patriots are a lot better than they're given credit for, or maybe not a lot better, but they're playing a lot better now that they have Drake May, at least. I'll say that.
Yeah.
We'll start with the Rams side since they won this football game 28 to
Stafford
22.
threw 4
Yeah,
touchdowns.
that's
this
good.
week.
That's a good line.
Stafford was my play this week. I put Stafford with Cup. That's what I went
Yeah.
with this
Yeah.
week, and it worked out
Yeah,
really well.
Yeah.
Really well. He had 27 attempts, only 18 receptions or 18 completions. He had 295 yards, 4 touchdowns. Matt Stafford ran 4 times, really just running out of sacks.
18 to
for 0
27
yards.
though. That's flat 60%.
Yeah.
4
Yeah.
tutties,
So, I mean-
295. You can't. No one can hate that.
No, you can't hate that at all. Kyron Williams did not get a touchdown in this game, but still ended up pretty decent. He didn't do anything in the passing game. Usually, and especially last year, what you seen out of Kyron Williams was screenplays for big yards.
Yeah.
That was a big thing from Kyron Williams. This year, it doesn't seem to be as much. 15 carries, 86 yards. Good game. Good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad game.
But not the best. Only 8.6 in fantasy.
I was
That's
gonna say, I think
not
it was like one
enough.
of his
Yeah,
worst games of the season.
You'd like to
statistically.
see that kind of yardage backed with a touchdown.
A
Like,
touchdown would have saved it.
Yeah,
honestly.
you know, so
Looking at the wide receiver duo on the Rams team, they are both awesome. They're both doing great, and they're both looking healthy. Puka Nacua, 7 receptions, 123 yards, 1 touchdown. Got dinged up. I think on his touchdown play, he got hurt, but then came back.
yeah, he came back.
He ended up coming back. Cooper Kupp, 6 receptions, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
So, I mean, these guys
he
are
had
eating.
himself a game.
The other touchdown scorers in this game, one of them was Kobe Parkinson. And the other
I
person,
haven't mentioned him in a while.
yeah.
No,
I wonder
I forgot he
when
was
they're
around.
ever going to get what's his name? Begins with an H. It's not Herbig. Higbee.
Higbee.
Is Tyler
Yeah.
Higbee still on their team?
I think so.
I would imagine
I
he
forgot
is.
that
Do you have
guy
your phone?
even existed.
Yeah, look that up for a
Yeah.
sec. What did you look at that for
He's,
me?
no,
I haven't heard from him in a long
he's
time.
on the team. I think when they opened up his window, I think he just couldn't get going.
Okay. I think the other touchdown was Cameron Kitchens returning an interception for a touchdown. I think it was. I think that's how they got their. No, it can't be because he had 4
He's
touchdowns.
on the Rams. so.
I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. Cooper Kupp had 2. I'm
Yeah.
dumb. I'm dumb.
There you go.
Anyways,
okay.
next team we're going to talk about in this game, well, the only other team in this game, obviously. But I'm going to start with Drake May. He is pretty good. I
Drake
think
May's
he was
good.
I think he's the 3rd best rookie from this class.
Yes.
I think Jane Daniels is the best. No, I'm sorry, he's the 4th.
Bo Nix.
Yeah. I think that Jaden Daniels is the 1st, Brock Bowers is the 2nd, Bo Nix is the 3rd, he is the 4th. Do
Yeah.
you agree with me?
I would agree with that.
BTJ would probably come in at 5th.
Yeah, he's
I'm
a
not gonna lie.
close. He's a close 5th.
Neighbors would be up there too, but he
Yeah.
just doesn't have any. I mean, neither guy from LSU has a quarterback to throw to him,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
BTJ is doing better.
He is doing better.
know?
Yeah, 100%.
Taking a look at the Patriots instead of me getting sidetracked with my ADD. 30 of 40 for Drake May. He had 282 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's not a terrible day. Patriots fans are probably happy about it.
75%.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Ramondre Stevenson, he had 20 carries, 73 yards. He also through the air had 4 receptions for 16 yards. This is a mediocre day. I'll give it to him as a B,
Yeah.
B grade.
B minus.
If you played him at running back 2, you're not mad. He did
Now we're
decent.
giving letter grades.
I don't know. I just felt like doing that right there.
First time I've ever
It
seen
just
him
popped
on
up.
this.
I was like, this guy gets a B.
A touchdown would have saved it.
Yeah, touchdown again would have saved it, just like Kyron Williams. Drake May did rush he's been rushing a lot. He rushed 3 times in this game for
Yeah.
27
He can
yards.
scramble.
He can scramble very well. Kendrick Bourne just came back off of IR recently. He was the best wide receiver in this game for them. He had 5 receptions, 70 yards, and a touchdown. Hunter Henry,
He's
terrible
still
last week.
probably the best receiver on their team.
Kendrick Bourne?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Demario Douglas is pretty dang good.
He's good too, but
Yeah.
I think Kendrick Bourne is
A
the
little
best
bit
one.
better.
Yeah.
Well, I could agree with you right now, at least. Hunter Henry is one of our streaming. If you really need a tight end for this week, guys. Last week he wasn't very good. This week
He's
made
better.
up for it.
better.
12 points
Yeah,
in
not-
PPR. You'll take that for a tight end. Demario Douglas, who I just mentioned a second ago, he had 5 catches, 59 yards. I just want to say his name. Keyshawn Booty.
Booty.
He had 4 catches for 33 yards. And then they had some guy named, why don't you say that one?
Vadarian Lowe.
Darian Lowe. Man, I want to
That's
say
the
that.
name.
Oh yeah, he was
He's
the
lineman.
eligible
eligible
tackle.
Yeah, so he got a touchdown too. Not a lot going on with the
No.
Patriots necessarily, but I mean, out of any of the bad teams, they look like they have the most chance of next year being very good. I think.
Yes.
Or at least playing spoiler to people.
Well,
I think they're
spoiler
gonna do
this
that.
season,
Yeah.
but next year I think they'll actually be good.
Be
Get a
half
couple
decent.
receivers.
Yeah, all right, yeah,
you know.
I guess I see you.
Next game we're going to talk about here,
Here we
guys,
go.
is my favorite
Here
game
we
of
go.
the week. I was screaming this whole game. I'm surprised I have a voice even today. The Pittsburgh Steelers locked down Lamar Jackson in comparison to what he has been recently. He had 33 attempts, 16 completions, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. On the ground, he ran 4 times for 46 yards. Mediocre numbers out of Lamar.
Compared to what you're expected.
Yeah, compared to, man, what a good week to trade for him.
Yeah, we got one of the Steelers out of
Right?
the way. I
Well,
only
he's
got
gotta
one
play him
more.
again.
I know he has to do it again. I thought about it.
Yep. Derrick Henry was bottled up. His first carry of the game was a fumble.
Yeah.
He got that ball knocked out. And, man, TJ Watt, there isn't, like, a lot of humans on the planet who you could see just, like, mangle
Derrick
TJ or
Henry.
Derrick
Oh,
Henry.
Yeah,
dude, he
TJ
crushed
Hawkins.
He
him.
crushed him in the backfield.
Crushed
He made
him
him look
in the
like he was
backfield.
not Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Like, Derrick Henry, when he stands up next to other people, even defensemen, looks huge compared to him. Not TJ Watt.
No, not at all.
Because TJ Watt's huge.
Yeah,
Like-
TJ Watt is huge. Yeah, show us your shirt.
Oh yeah. So. One punch Watt.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
nice. That's
Yeah.
sick.
There was actually a play where Zay Flowers dropped the ball, the one that hit him in the face.
Yeah.
TJ Watt went to go punch the ball out, ended up punching Zay Flowers
Directly in the
instead.
mouth. Directly in the mouth. So I said that Derrick Henry fumbled that ball. That was Nick Herbig who did knock it out.
This was like $7 at a gas station.
There you go.
Right, so-
That's a great $7 fine.
Right?
Maybe we'll have to buy the rest, put them in our TikTok store. Not serious. Not serious. About that. Looking at the rest of the team, though, Derrick Henry, I don't think I gave his stats away. It was 13 carries, 65 yards, saved his day with a touchdown. Isaiah Likely, number 1 wide receiver, not something that you would likely think would happen. But
I didn't like
came
it.
through
No,
like
it wasn't likely. No.
He also had a fumble in this game. Or no, it didn't turn out to be a fumble. Was he the one who had the ball stolen out of his hands? No, that was Hill.
No, that was
No.
Hill.
Yeah, that was.
He did have a fumble.
He did have a fumble.
Yeah, Patrick Queen.
stripped him. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was a great strip.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
good
that was
strip.
awesome.
Patrick Queen doesn't even look like he's going in for the tackle at all. He straight was like looking and then just
Yep,
Yeah.
ripped it.
great.
Yeah.
But he was the number 1 wide receiver. He had 75 yards, 4 receptions. Zay Flowers did have a touchdown, end of the game. He only had 2 catches for 39 yards. JPJ locks him up in this game. Rashad Bateman, no one cares. 2 catches, 30 yards. We don't like you, Rashad Bateman. I don't think you should have Rashad Bateman on your team, guys.
So,
Unless you're really
Unless
desperate.
you're like a 14, 16.
Yeah, 14,
team
16
league.
man league maybe. Deontay Johnson, revenge game. Deontay, you're a loser. Haha.
Zero,
Right.
zero, zero,
Yeah,
zero.
zero. He dropped his only target. I'm
Also,
pretty
Yeah,
sure.
he did.
Justice
Yeah, he
Hill
did.
just let Peyton Wilson take that ball away from him.
Yeah,
That
dude.
interception.
That was an awesome. That
nutty.
was really awesome. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I did.
So like the fact that it's mid-air and you have to think about it in real time because we watched it slow down.
Yeah.
He's going in and grabbing that ball
Yeah.
while defending
away
the
from him.
pass at the same
Yeah.
time and steals it from him. Peyton Wilson was a steal in the draft. I love it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
Love him.
Let's take a look at some Steelers stats, guys. Russell Wilson, he has been cooled off the last 2 games,
Yeah.
but that's okay. We pulled it out on the leg of Chris Boswell, who in half PPR has more points than any tight end.
Than any tight
no
end.
shit.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh my god.
He has in half PPR. Chris Boswell has more points than any tight
He
end.
is
Oh
the
my
killer
goodness.
bee.
Is that not crazy?
Wow.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
crazy.
he has like multiple 25, 26-point games.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
That's insane,
Yeah,
actually.
he had 6 field goals in this game. That's how the Steelers won 18-16. Russell Wilson 23 of 36, 205 yards, 1 interception, guys. No touchdowns in this one. Najee Harris a little bit cooled off as well. They've been playing Warren a lot more to kind of try to preserve
I mean,
Najee.
it was a
was a
dirty
good
game.
balance,
Like,
though.
It was a good balance.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be scared of if you're a Najee owner, and if you're a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, you really like what you're seeing because you get both guys on the field, and we like them
Oh,
both.
yeah.
Najee, 18 carries, 18 is the number. 63 yards is what he had. Jalen Warren, half the amount of carries, but he had 41 yards, so he's making something out of it. Justin Fields came in for a little bit.
Yeah, we finally
Yeah,
saw
did
a
some
couple packages for Justin Fields.
Yeah, I like it because I like Justin Fields a lot.
Yeah,
But
oh, yeah,
the only
same.
thing that was a blemish for Justin in the appearances that he made is that he didn't get the first down.
I understand that, but I mean, we still had third down.
I
Like,
know.
It's not like it was a third down play and he
It was
slid short.
savable. He
so,
didn't
like,
ruin
yeah.
anything. You're very
He didn't
right.
like, yeah. So,
Best player in the passing game was obviously George Pickens, who had another great game.
Yeah.
He looks like a freak because
Do
he
you know
is a
he's
freak.
third
He's-
most receiving yards in the NFL?
Is he?
Yep.
I'm glad.
yeah.
It's Jamar Chase, and then it's like a 100-point gap, and then it's Jay Jetta, then it's like another 200-point gap,
And then it's George.
and then it's George, and it's like kind of close between George and a bunch of other people.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, all we said at the beginning of the season is George.
Yeah, let's go George. Yeah.
We want you to just hone in and stop being crazy with your
no, be
off the
crazy,
field.
just don't
No,
be
off the
whiny.
field
Yeah,
stuff, the
yeah,
whiny
yeah,
stuff.
Don't
And
be
he
whiny.
has-
You could be crazy all you want, George.
And he's been doing great. Najee and Jalen Warren, they both had 4 receptions as well. Najee 30 yards, Jalen Warren 27. Pat Fryermuth, slow day after having a touchdown last week. 2 receptions, 14 yards.
Yeah. Darnell Washington
I knew you were.
Yeah.
was open in the
Yeah.
middle of the field
Yeah,
a
Dude.
couple times.
I like Darnell.
That one pick that
Yeah,
Wilson
he
threw,
was the reason for
he
the.
should have jumped for
Yeah,
it.
he should have jumped for it. That's
should,
why.
like-
That's why Russell threw his interception.
Yeah, just
he thought
'cause
that
he
the
sailed him.
monster
But
who's
like
getting out
he's
there.
6'7". Like,
Yeah, he can't jump.
nah, yeah.
I bet you $1 million that that
Probably
guy
jumps
has
like
very
me.
no vertical. He's so heavy.
Yeah.
You know. Let's
But
move.
still, like he doesn't have to jump. He didn't have to jump like that high.
I'm saying that he probably has his hops.
Yeah, and I don't have
I'm
hops,
sure
guys, if
his
you didn't
hops
know.
are better than Lou's. Come
Maybe
on.
debatable.
You're probably right. He is an
Come
athlete.
on.
I can't compare anything
Jesus,
to
and
Lou
he's
Zimmer.
I
also
do have,
10
I do have
years
pretty
younger
bad
than-
hops.
He's also 10 years younger than us. Like,
True.
come on.
By the way, guys, Lou's version of hops is he gets on his tippy toes. So, yeah. Anyways,
I
next,
go like a 2-inch vertical.
yeah, from being on his tippy toes. The next game we're going to talk about here is another rivalry game. This one came down to the final seconds. Geno Smith runs it into the end zone, corner of the end zone for the touchdown to beat the 49ers.
Yeah, I was
This is rivalry
surprised,
week.
to be honest. It was kind of
rivalry
It was
week?
kind of
Yeah,
yeah.
there was a lot
It
of
was
them.
rivalry.
Rivalry week.
Yeah. I mean,
That's a mouthful.
we're getting into a lot of them because, I mean, specifically for teams like the Steelers, they haven't played any of their opponent or their divisional
Division,
Yeah,
teams
this was the
until
first division
this
game. Division game.
So Geno Smith, let me tell you. All right, first of all, did he score the game-winning touchdown?
Yeah,
yes, he
he
had 4
did.
carries for 29 yards in that touchdown. But if you looked at the rest of his game, he was accurate, but he didn't get anything done. He had 25 completions on 32 attempts. He had 221 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception.
Mm-hmm.
That's not very good. For fantasy, at least, it's not very good.
Yeah.
K9, Kenneth Walker III, he had 14 carries. He had 54 yards. He had 1 touchdown. That's all right. He saved his day with
Yeah.
the touchdown.
Yeah, if he didn't have
Yeah,
the
a couple
touchdown, it'd be
catches,
awful.
so
He had
like
2 catches for 5
5
yards.
So like
Nah.
full PPR, you get 2.5 points from it. So
You'll
like,
take it. You'll
yeah.
take it. JSN, did you put him on your list? Was he on your wide receiver
no,
list?
no,
No.
Was
he
no.
your honorable mention?
I didn't even have an honorable
Oh,
mention, but he
okay.
would have been. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, I would imagine he would have been. JSN doing great. You had Metcalf back this week. Didn't matter. JSN still producing 10 receptions, 110 yards. That's more than half of the yards. Or I think that is half of the yards. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah,
half
exactly,
of the yards of Geno Smith in this game. He's doing great. That's a great game. That's 21 points PPR. You'll take that. DK Metcalf, first game back, 7 receptions, 70
Still,
yards. You'll take
that's
that.
decent. That's
Tyler Lockett, looking like somebody you guys can probably get somebody else maybe out of your free agency. If you're in a 10-man, 8-man league, I wouldn't have Lockett on my team at all.
Yeah, no, in deeper leagues for sure,
Yeah.
but not in
Deeper leagues maybe hold him a little bit longer, but
10-man league. I don't think he's owned by
Cover the
anybody.
Niners?
he shouldn't be.
So
He shouldn't be.
Niners,
Oh
cover the
yeah, I
Niners.
missed the Niners. We will cover the Niners. I will add a little bit of an injury report here. Kittle on the men. He's looking more and more like he'll play this week. However, at the moment, Brock Purdy has soreness in his shoulder of his throwing arm.
Ooh.
that's not good.
So that is something to keep an eye on, guys, for this week. Brock Purdy did do well. He was 75%, 21 of 28, 159 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He ran 5 times for 40 yards and a touchdown. That's what kind of saved it.
Yeah, the running definitely saved
Yeah.
it because 159 1-1.
I think he had 21 points. I played him. I don't remember how 18. He had 18. Now I'm remembering. He had 18 points, which is serviceable. It's in the more mid tier of the quarterbacks, but not bad. Christian McCaffrey, it's his second game back. 19 carries, 79 yards. He also had 4 catches for 27.
Still no touchdown.
Still no touchdown. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But still okay. He had over 100 yards from scrimmage, so 10 points. Not from your first round pick is that great. The number 1 overall pick in your draft, most likely in a lot of leagues. But I'm sure Christian McCaffrey by playoff time, guys,
Yeah,
is
he'll
going to be
he'll get
great.
it together.
Yeah, he's going to be fine.
Especially if Purdy's shoulder is starting to hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
They're going to really rely
It's going
on
to look
him.
a lot more Purdy
Yeah.
for CMC. You're right. Jordan Mason has been deleted from the offense. He had 2 carries for 13 yards, was not used in the pass game. Juwan Jennings, your boy, you told a lot of people Juwan Jennings was going to do well. You were right again on this one. You're pretty good with the wide receivers there, bud. He had 10 receptions.
One thing or two.
Yeah, maybe a thing or two. He had 10 receptions, 91 yards, and a touchdown. That was the best performer in the game because
By a long
he had a
shot.
touchdown because JSN didn't.
Yeah.
So he was the number 1 player out of this game when it comes to fantasy. He did great. But other than that, not a lot to look at for the 49ers. Just pay attention if you're a Brock Purdy owner. He does have that questionable tag and is considered day-to-day at this time. Here's a good one. This game we thought was going to be a lot closer. I called the Broncos. Did you? I don't remember who you took. I definitely took the Broncos because I'm like riding Broncos country.
I would have taken Broncos, but I did not think it was going to be this.
Okay. In this game, guys, this is the Atlanta Falcons who headed up to the Mile High Stadium to take on the Broncos. And, man, did they get absolutely whooped. We'll start with the Falcons because the Dirty Birds got real dirty.
We don't really need to.
There isn't much.
There ain't much
Yeah.
to real talk
Like,
about.
Kirk Cousins had a cooled off day. He was 18 of 27, 173 yards, only had an interception, no touchdowns.
Michael
Bijan,
Penix Jr., though.
he did come into the game. He came
2
into
for
the game with a
4.
couple minutes left. Bijan has been on fire the last couple weeks. He really cooled off in this game. 4 receptions, 28 yards. He had 12 carries for 35 yards. Not what you were looking for. Somebody who I played against played Algier. Algier didn't do anything at all. At all. He had 1 reception for -1 yard. So, yeah, there's that. Drake London, best receiver on this team, on this game. He had 3 receptions for 61 yards. Ray McLeod had the most points, though. He had 6 receptions for 46 yards. Other than that, not much to cover. Pitts went back to not being good. He's 2 weeks ago bad, last week good, this week
Didn't do
back to
great.
bad. Pitts, I don't know. This was against a really good defense, so I will give him that. Now, this is the guy who I said I think was a little bit more accurate. I can't remember what Goff's percentage was, but Bo Nix is great. 28 of 33, 307 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He also
that might
ran
be better
twice.
than Goff's day.
Yeah, a little. Might be a tiny bit, not as many yards. Goff had 100,
Oh, yeah, he had
412.
412 yards.
Yeah, but very accurate, and this is from a rookie, guys. We thought that Audric Estime was supposed to be taking over the backfield.
Doesn't look like it.
It does not look like it. I think it's really, you know what I think it is? It's hot hand.
Yeah, it's backfield by committee, and they play the hot hand.
Yeah, they play hot hand. So whoever, guys, if you don't know what that means, what happens is the first set of downs, they play all these guys, and whichever one does the best gets the second set of downs, and moving forward, they just keep going like that. In this game, it was Javonte Williams, 9 carries, 59 yards, 1 touchdown. McLaughlin had 19 yards on 4. Estime, 16 yards on 6. And then when we're looking at the passes, Estime was used a little more in the pass game. He had 3 receptions for 9 yards. Javonte Williams, 4 for 28. And I don't see McLaughlin this week,
Nope.
who is usually
No,
used
don't.
in that
he
situation.
Is usually used there.
Hey, look at Cortland Sutton having another great day.
Yeah,
Looks
big
like
touchdown.
Lou's still wrong about him, though. He had 14.8 points PPR, 7 receptions,
Mm-hmm.
78 yards. Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty
he's
good.
wide receiver
The upper end
one
of mid.
Yeah.
up in Denver. So
Guy that I've been talking about a little bit recently, guys, has been Devon Villay. I think that he's going to turn into a great wide receiver. He has a good connection with Bo Nix. 4 receptions, 66 yards. I do not think he's a
That
fantasy
guy's named
ad
Lil
yet.
Jordan.
Yeah, Lil Jordan
Lil
Humphrey.
Jordan.
You didn't know Lil Jordan Humphrey?
You know what?
Used to play for the Saints.
I've heard the name before, and I kind of just forgot about him.
Yeah.
Great name, though.
I don't know why they're using him a bunch, but they are. He had 4 receptions, 52 yards, and a
his
touchdown.
touchdown was late in the game.
Was it?
Like, I think it was the last one scored, and it was like,
Okay. Speedster. Marvin Mims Jr. had a touchdown, and Troy Franklin, who is a rookie, also had a touchdown in this game, guys. Bo Nix, really good. Really good.
really good.
I think he's in probably 3rd place for Rookie of the Year, like I was saying. Other than that, not much to cover in this game. We're going to move into the next one here. Next one was the second best, in my opinion, game of the week. This was the Buffalo Bills hosting the Kansas City Chiefs, the undefeated at the time Kansas City Chiefs.
Give him an L.
Finally.
Buffalo Bills were able to come through in this one. Thank goodness. Taking a look at Patrick Mahomes' day, he was 23 of 33, 196 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Shouldn't be in the MVP ballot.
No.
I don't understand why he is.
No.
I do, because they were 9-0.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
up
but
until
still,
this
Not
point.
anymore,
Look at
though.
his stats, though.
Exactly. They lost. He should be out, guys. That's my personal opinion. Patrick Mahomes should not even be in the top 10 for MVP.
For
This
Oh,
exact
no,
moment.
absolutely not.
No. No. It's just because of fan favorites and everybody
Yeah.
loves him. that
Unless
he's
he
still there.
goes berserk.
If at the end of the season he has 5 touchdowns every game and like 300 yards.
Yeah, if
I
he
think
goes
he's-
absolutely berserk the rest of the way down the stretch, like then yeah, okay, give him the MVP.
And
But like
right now,
that's
no.
what he has to do. He has to go berserk.
I think he's getting the love because, if you had another quarterback other than Patrick Mahomes, do you think they would have been
No.
8?
No, he's carrying
you know what I
them.
mean?
He
He
is
is carrying them.
carrying them.
So
Oh,
he
yeah,
is,
but
like,
he's also-
the most valuable on the team.
He's also been making mistakes this year.
He has. No,
turning the
I
ball
totally
over.
agree with you. That's why he's in the conversation a little bit.
Yep, I think that is why too. Kareem Hunt, his last couple weeks,
Yeah.
slowed down.
I mean, this is what he normally does yards wise,
but
he'll
no
get a
touchdown.
to back it up.
yeah, no touchdown. He wasn't really used in the pass game either, guys.
Yep,
Patrick
not this
Mahomes
week.
spread the ball around a lot.
A lot. Holy crap.
Best wide receivers in this game are pretty crazy. Best one is Noah Gray, the tight end, who had 2 touchdowns on 4 catches for 23 yards. Xavier Worthy did have a decent day. He had 1 rush for 7 yards. He had 4 catches for 61 yards, and he had a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, kind of a cool day.
Dud.
3 catches, 29 yards. Other than that, not much to talk about here with the Chiefs side of things, but the Bills.
There's not really a whole much more.
Yeah, I mean,
James
Josh-
Cook had 2
James
touchdowns.
Cook
Yeah,
had,
James
James
Cook
Cook had a
on
day.
nothing.
20
On
yards.
nothing, yeah.
James Cook had 5 catches for 7 yards. He had 9 runs for 20 yards. And then he had 2 touchdowns and saved everything. Other than that,
Yeah.
he had a really unproductive day. Chiefs defense, really good, though, guys. Taking a look at Josh Allen, 27 of 40. He had 262 yards. He threw a touchdown. He threw an interception. He ran for a touchdown. He ran for 55 yards,
He was
too.
leading
good
rusher.
day.
So, I mean, it was basically the Josh Allen show in this game. Shakir, your boy, had a
Yeah.
decent day. PPR, 15 points, 8 receptions, 70 yards. He's kind of using that JSN role where if they need yards, they're going to get the
They're
ball
just
to
going
Shakir.
to
Yeah.
toss it off to him quick.
Curtis Samuel had a nice touchdown. He not used a lot this year, but he had 5 receptions for 58 yards and a touchdown. Amari Cooper had 2 nice like chip plays, but coming back from his wrist injury, you guys expected a lot more out of him. I did. He did not do so. Dawson Knox, who was a lot of people who had Kincaid probably picked up Dawson Knox because they were like, I might as well go with the second guy. Dawson Knox, 8 total points.
Yeah, didn't
Yeah,
do
no,
good.
I mean,
4 receptions, 40 yards for him. Not that great. Other than that, though, guys, it was the defensive game for the Bills. I think the defense and Josh Allen. That's
Yeah.
what beat the
Yeah.
Chiefs.
That's what beat the
100%.
Chiefs.
Let's move here into the next one. The next one was our Sunday night
This one was a good
banger.
one.
Yeah,
this
this
one
was
was
a
a
good
This
good
was
game.
such a
This
good
was a good
football game. Oh, man. Results ended up 34-27. Chargers beat the Bengals. Bengals defense is absolute crap. Their offense is absolute gold. Joe Burrow, not as accurate as normal. He did have a lot of struggles
Yeah.
with Joey, or is it Joey or is it Yeah, it's Joey on
Yeah,
this
it's
team.
Joey.
Yeah,
Joey
Yeah.
Bosa.
Joey Bosa.
Joey was giving him a lot of problems in the backfield in this game. He was 28 of 50.
Their rookie too had.
Tua,
Yeah, I don't wanna
I
tr-
can't.
I don't wanna
I can't
butcher
butcher
his
it.
I don't know how
I
to
can't
say
butcher
it.
it, but there's too much for me.
Yeah, he got an Islander name.
Yeah, I think it's Tui is what they call him.
Yeah,
for short.
Tui.
He's
So
really
he
good.
had 2 sacks.
He was
So-
really good. I play you this week in Super League. I ain't got no linebackers. They're all in bye week. I'm struggling. Anyway,
Really? I'm like,
yeah.
okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, cool for you.
I need the dub.
356 yards for Joe Burrow, guys. He also had 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He ran twice for 28 yards. Chase Brown, 22 carries for 86 yards. No rushes again for Herbert. He was used, Herbert. They did put him in, but he didn't have any points. What he did is he was just a pass blocker. They brought him in.
He's a
they-
big guy,
they,
so
they brought him in as a pass blocker on some third downs when Chase Brown was tired. That's literally it. Chase Brown had 5 receptions for 57 yards. Chase Brown,
So good day.
good running back too for your fantasy football. Also, Bengals fans, you should be happy about Chase Brown. He's pretty good. I think so, at least.
Yeah.
T. Higgins, first game back.
Had a day,
Ballin'.
yeah.
He had
Had
a
himself a day.
deep touchdown that was a really nice breakaway from the cornerback. I can't remember if it was 70 yards, but it was somewhere near 70 yards. He had a touchdown. He had 9 receptions, 148 yards, guys. T. Higgins, when he plays, he does. Jamar Chase also had a good day. 7 receptions, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jamar is, in my opinion,
he's wide receiver 1.
He's wide receiver
He has
1.
like 300 or 100 or 200 yards on Jefferson, so
Yeah.
he's like running away with it.
Yeah, I think Jamar Chase is elite. I love Jamar Chase. I love watching Jamar Chase. I'm a Steelers fan, and I still love watching Jamar Chase. Other than that, though, guys, Iovanis had a slow day. They didn't really do anything with any of their tight ends. Mike Gesicki, an absolute
I
0.
hope you guys didn't start Mike Gesicki.
Yeah, Mike Gesicki, an absolute 0. Justin Herbert, not very accurate either. 17 of 36, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Justin Herbert in the first half, very good. Justin Herbert in the second half, not very
Not
good.
so very good. I mean, so-
It's just how
Yeah.
it worked. Justin had 5 rushes for 65 yards. Most of that was in the first half. He looked like he was seeing
Yeah, dude.
everything in
Yeah.
the first half.
he
You
looked
couldn't
good.
stop him.
He's looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Harbaugh up there.
Yeah, he's got him.
Yeah,
He's
Jim,
got him.
Jim Harbaugh. He's a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's
He
a
is.
good head coach.
Yes, Justin needed somebody to believe in him, and that guy sure does, and you're seeing it on the field because
I
of it.
forget the other guy they had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Staley, the
He
loser who
was
called the
awful.
timeout that
Yeah.
got the Steelers
we,
into
we
the playoffs.
think Tomlin is bad with timeouts. That guy
was
terrible.
Yeah, I don't even think he has a
Like-
job in the NFL right now. He
No.
probably shouldn't. J.K. Dobbins, a lot of people were saying, should we worry about him? He didn't
Hey,
do
2
good last
touchdowns.
week. 2 touchdowns, 11 carries, 56 yards. Gus Edwards did not affect him that much. He only was used 6 times for 27 yards.
Yeah.
He is not used in the pass game. You'll never have to worry about that. Gus Edwards is not a receiving back.
Yeah.
He is a hard-nosed runner.
Lad McConkey.
Baller.
I fell asleep before the game actually ended.
You old man.
I know. I was tired. Lad only had like 5 or 6 points. I wake up, he has 16. I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, he was dinking and dunking towards the end, getting yards. man.
Yeah.
Will Levis.
He's good.
Will
I like
Disley.
Oh, Will Disley.
Will Disley.
Will
Put some
Disley.
respect on
Who
his
is
name.
that? Who is that? Yeah, Will
Put
Disley.
some respect
boy.
on Will Disley.
What a decent game for Will Disley.
Oh, yeah.
Former Seahawk Will Disley. He had 4 receptions for 80 yards, 1 touchdown. Seems to be coming together as their tight end. They're
He's my,
using him a lot.
he's my new
Yeah.
tight end.
Well, you're 4-7, so I mean.
No, I traded away Brock Bowers. I picked up Will Disley.
Okay, all right. QJ had another touchdown. He saves his weeks with touchdown. I asked a lot of Chargers fans this week. I said, do you like QJ? And they said, we like him in certain spots, but we expect him to be like Mike Williams and be able to high point the ball in the end zone. And
Yeah.
he cannot do that. So they don't like him for that.
Yeah.
They think he's useful, but they think that he needs to get better at that. I agree.
Yeah, getting better at the
I
contested
thought he was supposed to
catches.
be just like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's
So-
good in open field, but he doesn't really do a lot when it comes to contested catching. Lad McConkey, best fantasy play, probably other than
Will Disley.
Disley.
man,
Will
I don't
Disley
know.
got me like
No, J.K. Dobbins is
Or
who
Dobbins,
I was thinking.
J.K.
He had 2
Dobbins, yeah,
touchdowns.
the 2
I think
tutties.
Lad and J.K. had pretty even days. But yeah, like he said, Lad McConkey did great. Nothing else really to cover in that game other than the fact that it looks like the Bengals.
They got problems.
Ooh,
On
they got
defense.
problems. T. Higgins is not going to be back with the team. They need to buy a whole brand new defense because of how bad their defense is.
Yeah.
Lou Anarumo, I think is the name of their defensive coordinator. He should be fired. Just saying. Next and last game we'll talk about here was a blowout.
Battle for Texas.
Blowout.
Who? Just checking. Are they still them boys?
They think that they still are them boys.
They're not.
They
though.
never
They're
have
not.
been.
They're not.
In fact, they lost the game
they
for
are not
Texas.
them boys.
They don't even own Texas
Yeah.
anymore.
They lost
It
in their
belongs to
own
Houston.
state to the other team.
I
in their
know.
state. That's-
Let's take a look. Which one do we want to take a look at first?
Let's do the Cowboys.
You wanna do the
first.
Cowboys
Yeah, they're
first? I do
worst
too.
team,
Yeah.
All right, so Cooper Rush threw the ball freaking 55 times. All right, he had
Goodness.
32 completions, 354 yards. You would not have expected that
No,
watching
not
the
at
game.
all.
I lost my fantasy football matchup because of this game. And you know why I lost it? Because Brandon Aubrey kicked a 64-yard field goal, and I was like, nice, I win. No, some idiot on the Texans slapped another guy in the face. And they gave him an immediate first down. Brandon Aubrey dings one off the goalpost at one point in time because he slips. Then on every other fourth down the rest of the game, they go for it. Never kick a field goal again. I lose by 0.4.
That's rich.
Yeah, I'm having a bad day because of it. I hate you, Cowboys.
That's too
You
funny.
ruined my week. Anyways, getting back to the stats. Cooper Rush actually had a decent day. Did you call Jim?
No, I don't.
You didn't call Jim?
I don't think so.
You didn't call him and tell him to make a roster move so that he lost?
No.
Okay. Ross,
may-
if you
I
ever
mean,
watched this, we asked him live. I
I'll,
thought you
I'll,
might
look,
have.
I'll look at my missed call. I mean, there's
Anyways.
a non-zero chance I did. But
Rico Dowdle did not have a good day. He is
No.
the lead running back there, but he is not doing that great behind a very damaged offensive
Yeah,
line.
their O-line
Everybody
is
on the
banged
offensive
up.
line got hurt in that game, it felt like. He had 10 carries, 28 yards. He was using the pass game, but it wasn't for much. Two catches for 6. Some weird – I tweeted this guy's name out during the game. I said, who? Ryan Flanoy was one of the guys who caught like these catches where it was like 4th and 6. The Cowboys really need to get down the field here.
Yeah.
it's Ryan Flanoy.
It was Flanoy both times. He only had 19
Who?
yards. Yeah, I said Flanoy who? CeeDee Lamb. Now, a lot of
Flanoy.
people are asking, do I panic on him? We said that he's going to be the one on the team to still get points, but it's going to be lower. He did decent in this game. 8 receptions, 93 yards. He also ran once for 13.
Yeah, it wasn't
Wasn't a bad day
it wasn't
for him.
bad at all.
Kavonte Turpin, his stats are a little skewed. He had 3 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown.
He took that one to the
He
house.
took that one play. I think it was from like about the 40-yard line of the Cowboys. He's lined up secondary slot, so it's Shoemaker, then him, then CD on the outside. CD goes up and out. He goes straight back.
Yeah.
The safety pulls down on CD. There's nobody there. He just jets to the end zone. So.
Gone.
Other than that, though, guys, Shoemaker filled in for Ferguson, who left with a concussion. Did want to mention that, even though Ferguson's probably on the lower end of tight ends at this point. But
Yeah, I've dropped him.
he had 6 receptions, 56 yards. This Luke Shoemaker. Schoonmaker?
Schoonmaker.
Either way.
Luke Schoonmaker.
They also have Spain Ford, who is a rookie tight end. He had 4 catches, 42 yards. Not a lot going on for the Cowboys, guys. They are not them boys. They need to rebuild them boys. The other side, though, Texans. Sophomore slump continues for C.J.
Yeah,
Stroud, in
he's-
my
yeah,
opinion.
not a great
I mean,
day
he's
for
not
him.
like playing
Horrible.
but he's
No.
not.
But he's
not
being
throwing
saved by Joe
touchdowns,
Mixon.
and he's being saved by Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
which they didn't really have last year.
No?
Did they?
No, they
No?
did not have him. He was on the Bengals.
Yeah. Who was their?
The running back last year was
who's their main running
Pierce.
back? Was it Pierce?
Mhm.
It was Damian Pierce
And he was okay. Then he had a bad running year.
and Cam Akers,
No, Cam Akers.
right?
No,
No, he was on the. Yeah, no.
I think he was on the Texans.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
I don't
no
know.
Either
worries.
way,
It don't matter.
Either way, we'll remember.
They got
it
Joe
eventually.
Mixon now. It don't matter.
They got Joe Mixon, and
King
Joe
Joe.
Mixon eats. Joe Mixon had 18 fantasy points in the first quarter. He was tracking to have 70 fantasy points by the end of the game if he could have kept it up. I thought that was pretty crazy stat to let you guys know about. He had 2 receptions for 44 yards. He had 20 carries for 109 yards, 3 touchdowns. You said he's number 1 on the week?
Yep.
Yeah, he is. 'Cause
Killer.
Saquon was too.
Killer. CJ Stroud, like I said, still on the sophomore slump, 23 of 34, 257 yards, an interception, no touchdowns, ran 3 times for 26 yards. Didn't look amazing. Nico Collins, first game back, 4 receptions, 54 yards. Tank Dell, exact same stats. Kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
Dalton Schultz, who I said might be a filler if you really, really need somebody. 5 catches, 33 yards. Not the greatest, not the worst. And then John Mechie, who I'll mention just because he's got a great story. John Mechie, 3 receptions for 33 yards. When
They're
he
starting
gets,
to use him.
Yeah, when he gets the ball, did you notice it? He plows through people.
Yeah,
he's
he's a big guy.
boy.
Yeah, he is a big
He's
guy.
a big boy.
I mean, he was really good at Alabama.
He was really good at Alabama. Last game we're going to cover here, guys, is going to be the Thursday night game coming up. It's going to be a
Here
good
we
one.
go.
This
Here
is the
we go.
second divisional game for the Steelers. They will be playing this game away right after playing on the Ravens. It's a short week game for them.
In Cleveland.
In
supposed to be
Cleveland.
rainy and kind of shitty out.
It's supposed to be cold and really rainy.
Yeah, windy.
I have a bet for this game. I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable giving away my bets after winning a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, let's hear it.
So here's my bet for this one, and you guys tell me how you think it is. This is a 650, and it's got 4 to it, four legs. I've got the Steelers -3. I've got the game to stay under 48.5 points. I have Freiermuth to have 19 yards, and I have Jalen Warren to have 14 yards receiving.
The only one I actually don't like is the -3.
Yeah.
Really?
I can see this being like a one-point game.
So you
Like,
think I should take money line instead?
I would take the money. I still have Steelers winning,
see
but
how
that's
it's-
the one that feels the sketchiest to me. I
Let's
love
see
the
how it
under there.
differs
Well,
if I do
Yeah,
that.
I like the under. And
I don't
like,
mind the 2 props there.
Yeah, I like the two
Okay.
props with Friday.
If I change it to the Steelers money line, it only drops it by 100, so it's a 550 bet. That's still a good bet. I
still
think I'll
not
go
bad.
with that
That's
on
not
your
too
guys'
bad, yeah.
suggestions. In this game, I think that highlighting some fantasy players is pretty easy for us to do. It's Pickens.
Yes.
I would stay away from Russ in this game. Browns surprisingly give the Steelers offense fits, so
Yeah.
I would just stay away from him. I think that you could go ahead and play Najee. This is a big bye week. I don't know if you guys noticed
Yeah,
how
I
many
know.
teams are on bye weeks.
I'm missing like 7 players.
And good,
on the
yeah,
roster.
and good teams too. So I think that Jalen Warren is actually someone you could probably save your week with a Jalen Warren pickup and playing him in your flex spot if you needed to. He's been doing returns. He's had like 10 points every single week that he's been back from his injury.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Maybe.
He's playing
Maybe.
all around ball. You're not noticing it as much in one spot because it's all over the place that he's doing it.
Yeah.
Chubb, do you think that he has a revenge comeback game?
No.
He was injured by Minka Fitzpatrick.
No.
That's
No,
what ended
I-
his season.
I don't think he
Nope.
does.
You don't think he does?
Nope.
Steelers run defense is too nice. There's no way.
Jameis
Yeah.
Winston in this
We just
game.
held Derrick Henry to 65 yards.
You're
Yeah.
very right. Do you think
So-
that Winston has more than 200 yards passing in this game?
200 yards, yeah.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
yeah too.
Who do you think is the highlighted wide receiver on the Cleveland Browns for this game? Is it Jerry Jeudy? Is it Tillman? Is it Moore? I think it's Moore
it's
somehow.
Neither. It's Njoku.
You think it's Njoku?
I think it's. I was leaning towards more as well.
Yeah. For some reason, guys, I think. Oh, was that
Hey.
your phone or something? Anyways, keep it together, brother. I think that the Steelers are going to win this game. You think the Steelers are going to win this game, right?
Of
And-
course,
and
I
of course
think
you
the
do.
Steelers are gonna win.
In quick recap, I think on the Browns side of things, the only safe person to play is probably Njoku, and the players on the Steelers side that you can definitely play are George Pickens and Najee. I think that Jalen Warren is okay to play if you absolutely
You
need
could probably play
somebody.
Muth if you needed to.
If you need somebody, right. But after his week last week, he's not reliable week over week, so that's why I didn't put him in the top tier of that. Anybody else you would put in or out?
I would play Steelers defense.
Ooh,
yeah, I would
there's
play,
a good one.
that is a
All
good
right.
one. I would
And
too.
Chris Boswell.
Oh, yeah,
wow,
easy.
wow.
And Chris Boswell.
Yeah, Chris Boswell will have a great game. Even if it's really rainy and nasty, guys, Chris Boswell will still have a great game for some reason. But at that, I didn't really have much else I wanted to cover this week, guys. In recap, the bet, these guys helped me kind of morph it a little bit if you like to follow along with the Wombo Combo Show betting. We have under 48.5. Pat Freiermuth, 19 yards. Jalen Warren, 14 yards. This is receiving. And then Steelers money line, that gives you a plus 550 bet for Thursday night football. Put a little $5 on it, get yourself
Yeah,
about
get yourself 20 bucks.
27 bucks.
25
and
bucks, yeah, whatever it comes out to.
you could use all that to bet on the weekend for a little bit cheaper on your wallet. But with that, guys, I do want to thank those of you who watched on YouTube or listening on Spotify. Really appreciate you guys. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Anything you want to say to anybody before we close? No?
No.
No, thanks for liking
Thanks
and
for
watching.
Thanks
and
for watching. Thanks
checking us out.
for all the likes, subscribes.
Yeah.